moon phase will take effect tonight, just in time for the start of the Rip Curl Pro at Bells Beach. We're expecting king tides of around 1.8 metres, but the swell and weather at this stage is anyone's guess.
Full moon normally produces good surf. I mean, yeah, isn't that a fact? I don't know.
Yeah, they say that the swell picks up, right on full moon.
Bells are always is held around the full moon. It's actually a ginormous full moon this year. This morning the moon's going down, the orange sun's coming up. It was a really good spectacle to start the event off. Yeah, it's supposed to bring some good luck and some big swells, so we'll see what happens.
Well, in 1992, I started gathering all the weather maps daily and then using that to get a better idea of what the surf was likely to be. I do lunar cycles and compare it with the swell patterns, and you could definitely see that every second one of those occurrences, over 1 year at least, you got a decent swell.
I've come down here and had no waves, and I've come down here and pumping waves, so who's not to say that it's got something to do with the moon,
The later Easter is, the better it is, I think, for the contest.
Full moon has things to do with the women that come down here, not really the swell. And probably some of the dudes as well, The wolves come out to hunt.
I don't know, werewolves come out.
The negative ions, which produce the positive energy, actually radiate the most when the moon is full.
I know there's big tides, that's about all I associate with it.
For Bells, if you did jag a swell on those full moons, the low tide bowl will be amazing.
ASP World Tour consists of 10 events held in the world's premier surf locations. The Rip Curl Pro at Bells Beach, Australia is the second stop for the tour. Prior to this is the Quicksilver Pro on the Gold Coast. This year, competitors lucked into some great surf conditions on the point at Snapper Rocks. With local favourites all bowing out, Taj Burrow and Geordie Smith went head-to-head in the final. Taj's experience gave him the edge he needed to claim the first event for the 2010 ASP World Tour season.
It's definitely the best run of my career. It's kind of hard to get on a roll these days. Every event's so tough, and everyone's just absolutely ripping.
The win puts Taj 2,000 points ahead of Geordie Smith and 3,500 points ahead of equal third Bobby Martinez and Dane Reynolds. On a roll, and as a past Rip Curl Pro event champion, Taj Burrow will be the one to beat.
Yeah, I've just managed to find some form in a few events in a row, and it feels great. It's good fun winning heats and winning contests.
Among the top threats is last year's event champion Joel Parkinson.
It's a new year, it's another Bells event, so everything's pretty good for me.
Also on the list of major contenders is the reigning two-time world champion Mick Fanning.
I feel like I've got some good boards under my feet, and it's one less thing to worry about, and hopefully it all goes well.
Coming off a second place on the Gold Coast and a semi-finals finish here last year, South African Geordie Smith will be one to watch.
I've been coming up since I was 12 years old, so I've got a little bit of history, and I just hope to get some good waves and have some fun.
And as both past event winners, you can never count out the 9-time world champion Kelly Slater or 3-time world champion Andy Irons.
Just taking a year and a half off was a big break. I feel a lot more confident, a lot more stronger, got my boards a lot more in tune, and yeah, I'm stoked to be back for sure.
Rounding out the field are 3 wildcard entries. Stuart Kennedy of Australia, Brazilian 17-year-old Gabriel Medina, and trials winner Adam Robertson, who had a monumental run in last year's event, finishing in second place.
Getting a good result last year was great for my confidence, and hopefully this year I can go one better.
We've taken so much experience from our search events over the last couple of years, having that real mobility.
We're lucky in that we've got about 4 really good options that work in most conditions. The first of which is Bells Beach. That's the main venue for the event. Our second option is Winky Pop. It's probably the most preferred option by all the guys on the WCT Tour. Our third option is Joanna, which is about an hour and a half down the coast from Bells Beach. We normally go down there when we've got 1 or 2 days left in the waiting period and we really need to finish the event. Our fourth option is Woolamai. Woolamai is about 4 hours drive from Torquay. It's really desperation stakes if we're going to Woolamai.
So we're ready to go anywhere in the state at this stage.
After being put on hold for 4.5 days due to bad surf conditions, the opening heats of men's round 1 in the Rip Curl Pro presented by Snickers finally got underway at Bells.
The guys want to surf, they've been waiting for 5 days and it's the first round, no one loses, which is a positive, and they want to surf, so that's a good thing.
In the opening heat, the former 3-time ASP World Champion Andy Irons took out Dane Reynolds and Tour rookie Nate Yeomans from the USA.
They gave me the opportunity to take last year off and I took it, just kind of got burnt out there. I mean, it's an amazing job, but surfers do get burnt out, and it did happen to me. And having Dane and Nate, I really respect for surfing. Dane's one of my favorite guys to watch, and to get a win over him feels awesome.
The current #1, Australia's Taj Burrow, managed the tricky conditions well, advancing through to round 3.
It's really bumpy. So easy to catch a rail, Yeah, I was happy to get through because it was tricky.
Joel Parkinson posted the highest heat total of the day, a 16 out of a possible 20, in his victory against Chris Davidson and event wildcard Gabriel Medina.
Conditions were pretty ugly, and kind of knew it was going to be like a survival kind of day. If you can just hope the opportunity come to you, that would do enough to win.
Also claiming victories were the reigning 2-time world champion Mick Fanning.
It was very difficult out there, lumpy, bumpy. I was lucky enough to get like a couple at the start.
Australia's Adrian Buchan, Brazilian Adriana de Souza, 9-time world champion Kelly Slater, Tiago Perez of Portugal, Frenchman Jeremy Flores, and ASP injury wildcard Luke Steadman.
I'm so happy I've got that surf out of the way. The last 5 days have been killing me.
The remaining round 1 heats were completed in windy 2 to 3 foot waves at Bells Beach the following morning. Tour rookie Patrick Gadauskas from the USA was outstanding in the opening heat of the morning.
Well, Patrick, how about that, beating Jodie Smith in the opening heat of the day?
Yeah, it was exciting. I think he's really talented in conditions like this. Yeah, I'm really pretty stoked on that.
In a shootout bout, Michel Perez got the edge against his opponents Taylor Knox and rookie Adam Melling from Australia.
Yeah, it's pretty good just to win the first round, and go straight to the third round, so I'm really happy about that.
Final round 1 winners included rookie Dusty Payne, Tom Whitaker of Australia, and Hawaiians Freddie Patacia and Roy Powers.
Yeah, I'm stoked to make it through. I mean, I'm actually stoked to finally surf, and it's not the best bells, but if you get the right wave, it's got a good wedge.
After the break, the world's best women surfers hit the water, and we revisit one of competitive surfing's all-time clashes. The Rip Curl Pro at Bells Beach acts as the second stop for the Women's Professional Surfing Tour. The women's lineup for 2010 is one of the most inspiring in years.
Everyone's surfing so good this year. I mean, there's been a huge push from Silvana. There's Chris on tour and Leanne. It's always exciting to watch.
At the forefront of this new generation is 19-year-old Sally Fitzgibbons.
This is my second year in World Tour event down here at Bells Beach, and I'm feeling really good and I'm super happy and have a lot of confidence.
Of course, leading the charge is the reigning 3-time world champion and current #1, Stephanie Gilmore of Australia, ready to rectify her second place finish here last year.
Yeah, to get that second place last year kind of stung a little bit. So, you know, to start the year with a win on the Gold Coast felt really good, and I guess I'm going to use that confidence leading on into Bells.
Nipping at her heels is a long list of hungry competitors, including the current world number 3, Chelsea Hedges.
Yeah, been down here for like a week and had some really fun waves at Bells. You know, a bit of confidence behind me and all warmed up, ready to go.
The opening 2 rounds of the Rip Curl Women's Pro, presented by Ford Fiesta, were completed in punchy 2 to 3 foot waves at Rincon. Last year's event champion, Silvana Lima, set the standard, taking the win over Jessie Miley Dyer and Nikita Robb.
I really like this condition because like similar from Brazil, like bumpy and the way it's coming up.
Other round 1 winners included young Sally Fitzgibbons, Chelsea Hedges, Coco Ho from Hawaii, and Steph Gilmore.
I felt alright. That was my first surf of the morning. Round 1, little warm up, and on into round 3.
In tough conditions, round 2 hit the water. Progressing through, Rebecca Woods of Australia, South Africans Nikita Robb and Roseanne Hodge, and Leanne Curran of France. Challenging 1 to 2 foot conditions greeted the women for round 3. Continuing her great form, Chelsea Hedges was the standout, dispatching Roseanne Hodge.
It's tricky out there. You really got to pick the right waves that wall up, you know, and I guess it was just enough to get through.
Silvana Lima advanced through to the quarterfinals over Nikita Robb of South Africa. Also advancing through to the quarterfinals were Sally Fitzgibbons, Melanie Bartels, Sofia Milanovic, and Steph Gilmore. Unfortunately, Leanne Curran, daughter of the legendary Tom Curran, was ousted by Coco Ho in the final heat.
Yeah, it was unfortunate for her, and yeah, I gave her a big hug, and we're good friends, so.
Like, it's how it is surfing, so maybe like the next one I'm gonna be really lucky and get the best waves.
It was only a half a point difference, and yeah, looking forward to seeing her in a lot of events to come.
Tom Curran wasn't only here to watch his daughter.
I got invited to come here. They're having a heat with Aki and myself.
The Ockie-Curran clash here at Bells years ago was probably one of the best heats ever surfed in pro surfing history.
Our biggest fans as kids were Tom Curran and Ockie.
That's who I looked up to when I was young. They're legends.
The Curran-Ockie battle began in the early 80s, culminating to their heat here at Bells Beach in 1986.
That's what everyone pictures Bells like, is that heat of Ockie and Curran.
I had to go through that heat to win the world title.
Really intense, you know, he was just so smooth and calculated and so hard to beat. He'd need a score and he'd paddle to some misto bank and the wave would come for him. He'd just always be doing your head in, you know what I mean? So it was pretty tricky surfing against him back then.
I won that one, so, and then I won the world title, so it was a very big year for me.
It was a special heat for sure, the waves would pump, and it'd be almost impossible to emulate a heat like that.
With no outright winner, and both surfers still in top form, it was time to settle the score.
Billabong last year at the Billabong Pro at J Bay started the clash of the icons, and we've brought it here for round 2.
Obviously great to surf with Aki, and we had one last year at Jeffries. That was a lot of fun. They had 2 heats, so it was a tie. So now they're doing it again here.
We're in J Bay and they had the first clash of the icons, which is phenomenal, and it's going to be so exciting to watch it out Bells.
Just to see those 2 guys out in the water together, just the aura they create is just amazing.
I think they're as competitive as ever. I mean, Oc's been out practicing every day, and I'm sure Tom's been finding his little misto spots.
Definitely Ockie out Bells, his backhand hacks and the power in the wave.
Oh, I'm always going to say Ockie at any point and at any conditions, but gee, Curran is Tom Curran.
Oh, I don't know. Just have to wait and see the conditions. Ockie's famous for tearing apart the bowl.
Yeah, if it's above 4 foot, I pick Occy. If it's below, I pick Curran.
I think probably Occy.
I'm going with the Ark.
I think Tom will. But I love Occy, so I don't know.
When you see flowers in sunshine, do you feel soft on the inside? I won't tell anyone. Why do we always have to pretend and worry so much what others think? It's nice sometimes to cry. When you're tired of bottling up all your feelings, when you say enough is enough, then you'll see. You'll tell everyone it's okay to be happy or sad. It's okay to let it all out when you're mad.
Tom was ripping out there, probably as good as he's ever surfed, and you know, so I've got my work cut out for me if we're going to have another heat.
And a nice win over good mate and stern rival Mark Occhilupo.
Yeah, it was kind of fun out there.
He said, let's share the wave, and then he picked my rail up and we both went over the falls. And I was scared for a little while, but we were in hysterical laughter, and I've never had a laugh like that with Tom ever. We gave each other a high five. It must have looked funny. I want to see the footage. I'll get him back. Don't worry.
Onshore, small conditions at Bells and a bleak swell forecast forced contest directors to move the event to a fifth unplanned venue.
Yeah, it's a really difficult forecast that we're looking at, so you know, we have elected to come down here to 13th Beach.
Attracting more swell than Bells, and with favourable winds predicted, 13th Beach was the best option.
13th Beach was a pretty radical call. We haven't been here since the 70s, but we're back again. We had the troops on the beach at 4:30 in the morning to move TV, move the whole gig. Yeah, she's a 2.5 hour just setup process.
You know, we're surfing a beach break, which is totally different to what we'd normally surf at Bells, so I think it's just good to get the second round underway.
Event wildcard Gabriel Medina caused the biggest upset of the day in Heat 2, eliminating former ASP World Champion CJ Hopgood.
Sometimes it's harder to get motivated than other times, you know, and I think I was just searching for something to get motivated. I just had trouble finding anything to get motivated about.
Bobby Martinez ended the hopes of local wildcard and last year's event runner-up, Adam Robertson.
I mean, he serves great no matter where he goes. I mean, I know he knows his place a lot better than I do. Just luckily, I got a little nudge on him today.
Escaping elimination, Dane Reynolds scraped through his heat against tour rookie Blake Thornton. Geordie Smith put together a strong heat to defeat Marco Polo of Brazil. Mid-round winners included tour veteran Taylor Knox over South African Travis Logie. Tour rookies Matt Wilkinson and Tanner Gadauskas, plus Kai Otten of Australia. Chris Davidson proved the form surfer of the round, blasting the right-handers, netting a 16.13 out of a possible 20 to eliminate Jay Thompson. Brett Simpson lofted an incredible full rotation alley-oop to secure his round 2 win over Hawaiian Kekoa Bacalso.
No, for sure, I'm stoked. You know, they're rewarding the high performance maneuvers, and I went for that alley-oop, and luckily I stuck it.
In tricky afternoon conditions, heat winners included Drew Courtney of Australia, Brazil's Jadson Andre, and Owen Wright over fellow team rider Ben Dunn.
My plan was to get moving and then sit and wait for a bomb, and I never got a bomb, and only got that one and just missed out on the score, I think.
Damien, we were looking to go into round 3, but not anymore.
Yeah, we didn't anticipate this heat going flat, the heat with Owen, and I think it was probably better to call them both off.
Round 3, looking forward though. Winky Pop, are we there definitely first thing in the morning?
Well, we're going to make the call from Bells tomorrow, whether it's Bells or Winky Pop. Fingers crossed we'll have a little bit of residual swell tomorrow and we'll get a full day. It'd be great to get a day at Winky Pop.
Stay tuned. After the break, we crown our Women's Rip Curl Pro champion. And we check out the music on offer down at the Rip Curl Pro. The Easter long weekend at the Rip Curl Pro Bells Beach is not to be missed. The crowds flock down to get involved with the parties, listen to some tunes, and most of all, watch the surfing. In the first heat of the women's quarterfinals, the two young guns, Coco Ho and Sally Fitzgibbons, went head to head. In the tricky conditions, Sally found the better scoring waves.
Yeah, it was kind of a dream heat. Feeling really good and confident with my surfing, and hoping I can have a few more heats like that one.
Heat 2 was another one-sided affair, with reigning three-time world champion Steph Gilmore taking it to Rebecca Woods of Australia.
I was pretty relaxed. I was kind of really excited about seeing that water spout out there. That was just amazing, and got a couple of waves, so I'm happy, yeah.
Also advancing through to the semi-finals were Australian Chelsea Hedges and former world champion Sofia Milanovic from Peru.
Yeah, it was pretty hard out there, you know. I was just lucky enough to just catch 2 waves and make the score.
In the first semi-final, it was Sally Fitzgibbons versus an in-form Steph Gilmore. Sally gave Steph a good run for her money, but couldn't quite clutch the win.
Steph's obviously, she's the world champ, and you got to go into that with your A game, and I guess a little disheartening, but yeah, it's something you just learn from and move on to the next event.
Then, in the closest heat of the event, Sofia Milanovic just scraped through to the final over Chelsea Hedges, despite an injured neck.
It was pretty crazy because I needed like a 4.1 and I barely got it, and then she needed like a 5.8 and she got like a 5.7, so I'm just glad I made it and God was with me.
Carissa, your take on the final, Milanovic, Gilmore.
It's kind of hard to say. I want them both to do well, but I have to say Steph has been sort of on a roll.
Yeah, I haven't encountered the wrath of Stephanie Gilmore in that last semi-final. Steph's, you know, she's looking good on her feet.
I didn't get to watch too many heats of Sophia, but I watched Steph this morning and she was really on.
Those rascals think they're better than me. Those rascals think they're better than me. Those rascals think they're better than me.
Sophia surfed exceptionally well, but it was Steph Gilmore who hit her stride at the perfect time. Steph scored a 14.67 out of a possible 20 to Sophia's 10, claiming her third Rip Curl Pro Bells event and second event for the year, making it 2 from 2.
Yes, number 3. It's an incredible day today, and to ring the bell again, especially the big bell this time. I'm so excited, and I definitely feel like I had a good rhythm going today, and maybe a good little connection with Bells Beach. I mean, there's something going on there, but I just enjoy coming here. It's just an all-around good event for me.
As the crowds dispersed, the music festival kicked into action.
Wildman, Kineo, G, and myself, Matt.
When they've had enough of sitting on the beach, the spectators can go up and watch the music festival on Saturday and Sunday.
I guess it's sort of surfy rock, sort of indies. It's unclassifiable. Just listen to it.
We're from Gerringong, about 2 hours south of Sydney on the coast.
Played a few shows down there and in Melbourne, and I don't know what we've got coming up. I think we're just going to take it easy for a bit.
Because here's this singer. He gets to choose what songs we do play and what we don't play. So
Depends on it.
We don't play by rules, is what I'm trying to say.
The Rip Curl Pro relocated for the second time this event for round 3 of men's competition.
We've moved locations yet again. We're going to be running here at Winky Pop today, which is just to the side of actually the main stage at Bell's. There's some really beautiful lines coming through, and I think we're going to have an exciting day of competition.
In the opening heat, Adriana de Souza of Brazil eliminated rookie Brett Simpson with one of the highest heat scores of the round, a 16.67 out of a possible 20.
It's so much important for me to be in round 4. That's one of my main focus in this event, you know, to get out here at Bells with the top 10.
Freddie Patasia then went on to eliminate Patrick Gadauskas. The former 3-time world champion Andy Irons sneaked through to round 4 over Australia's Kai Otten.
It's a lot more sketchy when it's man-on-man, it's a little more personal, and I started late. I came from the Bell side around the corner and the heat started, and it really shook me up. The nerves got to me.
Taj Burrow, the current ASP world #1, showcased why he has a near-flawless competitive record from the past 5 months.
Everything kind of didn't go my way. It was unfortunate for Wilco. He's a great surfer. I love the way he surfs. He does the best backhand, fin blast. That's one of my favourite turns. But he just got kind of skunked with waves, and yeah, they came to me. So I was happy I had the magnet on.
Geordie Smith, current ASP world #2, posted an impressive win over rookie sensation Owen Wright.
It sucks coming up against a good friend, but I guess he got me at Bondi during the air show, so just get him one back.
Mick Fanning, a former winner at the Rip Curl Pro Bells Beach, showed no mercy against wildcard Gabriel Medina from Brazil.
These are fun little rides. I surf these all the time, and I had a good surf out here yesterday. So I knew what I could do. I just had to select the waves and just go for it.
Fanning's good friend Joel Parkinson also advanced to round 4 following a win over Neko Patarats. Also moving ahead into round 4 was Australia's Adrian Buchan, Bobby Martinez, last year's #3 Bede Durbidge, and Luke Steadman of Australia. Prior to his matchup against Dusty Payne, things weren't looking good for the 9-time world champion Kelly Slater.
I did something to the top of my foot yesterday trying an air, and I thought maybe I broke a bone or something.
As an uncertain Slater took to the water, Dusty put the pressure on straight away, opening up with a 9-point ride. Despite his injury, and like he's done so many times before, Kelly came back to combo Dusty.
There's about 10 minutes left. I had priority and just prayed for a long wall. Kept it efficient. I think only caught 3 waves.
With clean and contestable surf conditions still on offer, contest directors opted to push ahead into round 4. The lightning-fast Western Australian Taj Burrow went on a rampage against Andy Irons, posting the highest score of the day, a 17.77 out of a possible 20. Geordie Smith then put on a progressive surfing clinic in an emphatic win over Roy Powers. And in the final heat of the day, Fanning went on to survive a tough battle against Portugal's Tiago Pires. Coming up, more men's competition action, and we meet some of surfing's future champions in the International Grom Surge.
Well, I've learned my lesson.
Mixing it up with the pros this year, the under-16s are competing at Bells in the Rip Curl Grom Search Final.
The Grom Search is a junior event for male and female surfers in the Grom at age category of 16 and under. It started here in Torquay, that was the home of it, in 1999, and it's sort of mutated now into a multinational, worldwide grommet tribal gathering.
The best thing about the Grom Search is coming here and watching all your favorite surfers surf.
It's pretty exciting and getting to surf kind of the same comp as all the pros.
I won the national final in South Africa, and yeah, they sent me here for this contest.
You get selected from your country to go surf in this grand final, so that's a great experience.
It's a real traditional spot, and I'm stoked to be a part of it.
I got this feeling playing on my mind. Leaves me behind.
I think the Grom Search is a great idea. When you're trying to become a professional, the best way to do it is to be where they're at.
They get that feeling of what Bells feels like when you're out there, against your opponent, and
they probably feel like they're competing in the Rip Curl Pro.
A Grom is just a younger kid that's always really stoked on going surfing all the time.
Just a little frother, just a little undersized cray.
cheeky little kid.
Surf for 10 hours a day.
They do the dishes. I get called a Grom off all my dad's mates. It's so funny, I turned 30 the other day.
Someone that you could probably stuff in a trash can.
Definitely had my fair share of Grom abuse for sure.
I cried a lot when I was a Grom.
Tied up against poles naked, to toothpaste in my eyes.
I used to get buried and put in wheelie bins and all that kind of stuff.
I'll beat up on a little Grom every now and then. Tell them I'm going to pick them up to take them surfing and just leave them at home.
The Grom Search help athletes on their quest for the professional career in surfing.
I remember sitting in the competitors' booth trying to get signatures and stuff on the guys. That was pretty cool.
Come here every year, all the rookies, I go up to them and go, hey, congratulations, welcome back. And they're like, oh yeah, the Grom Search is great, now I'm back here as a pro.
Gabriel Medina from Brazil.
2 days out from the end of the waiting period, contest directors made the call to move 2 hours down the coast to Johanna Beach.
Keep waiting for the view without my mind in the way.
So we're at our fourth location now, down at Johanna. The decision was the waves here today were going to be better than what we get tomorrow.
It's 3 feet here and the conditions are pretty good. They'd be good at most events, so yeah, we're going to finish the event.
Duma gave us a deadline to be ready by 10:30 and we hit the hooter at 10:32, so it was pretty good.
And that was that. Heat 5 of round 4 hit the water. Joel Parkinson versus Adrian Buchan. Both competitors opted to surf the right-hander, but it was Joel who capitalised.
I was always going wherever my competitor was going, I think you get a 50-50 chance that way, and I think it's probably about the best waves out there where we're sitting.
Bobby Martinez then continued his blistering form, ousting Brazilian Jadson Andre.
How's she gonna live?
The whole time I didn't know where to go. When you went over there, I got nervous because I knew there was good waves. I was seeing people were surfing over there, and I might go there my next season.
B. Durbidge also advanced through to the quarterfinals, eliminating Aussie Luke Steadman.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. You don't know where to sit, and it's got like 2 peaks going on, and it's tough. But yeah, at least there's waves and it's above 2 foot, so can't complain too much.
And the 9-times world champion, Kelly Slater, was looking unstoppable despite his foot injury.
A little bit of injury with the foot, and there's a tiny little hairline fracture in the top of the foot.
And he's up and riding belly, driving down the line. There's that powerful opening manoeuvre that we've become so accustomed to seeing from Kelly Slater. Up and again, driving over the foam. Big swooping cutback. He is really looking in control. Sliding the tail into a reverse. There you go. That's why he's the 9-times world champ, and it puts a smile on this man's face, Stephen Bell.
Anyways, good start, and I think I caught all the good waves out there, so Michelle, bad luck for him, he just didn't get a chance to get going.
The outgoing tide made conditions tricky for Taj Burrow and Adriana de Souza in quarterfinal 1. Despite the challenging conditions, Taj advanced through to the semi-finals.
It was pretty tough out there. I think it might have been the bottom of the low tide or something, or otherwise I was just really lost. But both of us couldn't find a thing. It was unfortunate. Hopefully the waves get better with the tide coming in.
In a nail-biter, Mick Fanning defeated Geordie Smith in quarterfinal 2 by 0.2 of a point.
Yeah, I made him a bit of a mistake, and that's when he got his, I lost priority and he got his big score, but I just thought, I could wait and try and, I got that one wave and it was just enough to get me in front, and then just try to hold him off that last one, and it worked, so I'm stoked.
In quarterfinal 3, Bobby Martinez headed straight for the left-hander. Employing the same tactic as his round 4 heat, Joel Parkinson followed Bobby to the left. Unfortunately for Joel, it didn't pay off.
Left's actually kind of hard to surf. Kind of keeps coming back on itself. And, it's just tricky though, yeah, it's tricky.
In the heat of the day, Bede Durbidge almost unhinged Kelly Slater in the dying moments of quarterfinal 4.
Yeah, I went for it and I had to. I landed and I thought, I got it, and then as soon as I thought that, I fell off, and it was a close heat.
Up next, Ockie and Curran settle the score in the Clash of the Icons and will crown the men's Rip Curl Pro champion. An incoming tide and a drop in wind improved surf conditions down at Johanna Beach for the men's semi-finals at the Rip Curl Pro. In the first semi-final, it was the current world #1 against the reigning 2-times world champion, Taj Burrow versus Mick Fanning.
That's a really big heat, this one. Taj is pretty confident though, and I think he can do it.
Taj Burrow's seemingly unstoppable dream run finally came to an end at the hands of Fanning, who accumulated a total heat score of 15.33 out of a possible 20 to Taj's 12.5.
I was just bummed. I kind of had a shocker. I wanted to, kind of get a couple of good waves and put on a good show, and I think I fell on a really good one, which annoyed me. Yeah, a bit bummed, but it's still good. I'll take it.
The second semi-final was a one-sided affair. Kelly Slater put on an amazing show for the crowd, while unfortunately for Bobby, the waves didn't cooperate.
The waves changed a lot, and I felt like I had a hard time finding a wave. I wish I could have just had opportunity to surf. Yeah, you don't ever want to come here and get third, You want to win, I'm happy, but at the same time, I'm disappointed.
As the two finalists, Mick Fanning and Kelly Slater, prepared, Ockie and Curran hit the water to settle the score in the Clash of the Icons.
If you won the semi, you take that extra break. It'd be like watching a surf movie as a kid before you went out for an afternoon surf after school.
Curran took out the heat and made it 2 from 2. It seems only fitting after reliving one of the all-time greatest heats in professional surfing. The 9-times world champion should take on the reigning 2-times world champion in the final at the Rip Curl Pro for 2010. Following a relatively slow start, Fanning unleashed with a 7.17 to take the lead. However, Slater answered right back. The judges rewarded him with an 8.93. Slater backed it up with another excellent wave, scoring an 8.1 out of a possible 10. Fanning surfed well, but couldn't quite surpass Slater, leaving him to claim the 2010 Rip Curl Pro.
Round of applause for our winner, Kelly Slater.
Kelly's win here marks his 4th at Bells Beach, equalling the historic record set by Lisa Anderson and legendary Australian Mark Richards.
How many years did it take Mark to do it? It took me about 20. I got 3 in about 5 years, so that's not too bad on the run, but it was a long time between the first and the second. So, I don't know, maybe I figured this place out somehow.
Despite this year's testing surf conditions, Bells once again proved that top surfers always do well here, with 8 of the top 10 making the quarterfinals. Kelly's win catapults him from 9th to 2nd on the ASP World Tour ratings, leaving Taj Burrow in 1st place. The ASP World Tour now heads to the beach breaks of Imbituba, Brazil for the Santa Catarina Pro. Giant crowds, entertainment galore, and the world's best surfers make this event an amazing festival of surfing and a show not to miss.
A little too shy to